Hey guys, it's Morgan. Today I'm going to be doing a video about my experience at the Southern Festival of Books in 2016. If you didn't know, Southern Festival of Books is a 3-day long festival held in downtown Nashville, all about books with tons of different authors and tons of different booksellers and people set up between the War Memorial and the Nashville Public Library. And it runs second to last weekend in October. I was only able to go one of the days because I was getting over bronchitis, so I have an excuse. But yeah, so first thing that happened was I woke up at 7:30 because I had an interview at 10:30, and my stepfather, I love him to death, bless his heart, said that we had to be there 30 minutes early to find parking. Spoiler alert, we didn't. So we got there. Also, he thought that we were an hour from Nashville when we really were 30 minutes. So we got there at 9 o'clock. We got there at 9 o'clock, and my interview wasn't until 10:30, so we found parking, walked around, and I ended up texting the lovely Nicole Casterman, and she was able to meet at about 9:45. So we got in there and had an awesome interview. I will leave a link to it in the card up here. That was really fun. She is such a sweet lady, and I am so privileged to be able to know her and have done an interview with her. And to top it off, it was her first BookTube interview, so that was just so much fun. And I was able to get her to sign my copy of Blackheart. I can't wait to get to finish this novel. It's super good so far, but I've been kind of swamped with schoolwork and getting ready for Y'all Fest, so I've not been able to finish it. I'm so sorry, Miss Nicole. But it's awesome, and she signed it with a black heart. Yeah, and found out that the lovely Maggie Scarry was doing a talk at that moment. So I ran as fast as I could to the library and was able to catch the last few minutes of her discussion. That was one of the best speeches I've ever sat through. It was hilarious and interesting, and she talked about how she set John Green on fire. So if you've not gone to one of her speeches and she comes to you locally, I would definitely go check that out. And then I hopped on back over to the War Memorial Plaza, where I waited in this line for about 30 minutes to get a signed copy of The Raven Boys. She was super sweet. I was able to get a photograph with her. From there, at the same time, some other pretty cool authors were signing, so I skipped from that line over to the lines for Sharon Cameron and Shannon Messenger. Now, a lot of y'all may know that this was the uppercase book for, I believe, September. So I did actually already have this signed, so I just got her to personalize it for me. So that's cool. And then I had picked this up on Book Outlet on a whim, and I found out she was going to be there, and so I got her to sign it because, and I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, YOLO. Yeah, I hate myself. Anyway, so that was fun. And I have photos with those two lovely ladies as well. Now, I had a pretty busy schedule for the day. I had my interview with Miss C.J. Redwine in about 15 minutes. It was about 1:50-ish, and my interview with Miss CJ was at about 2:15. At crunch mode, but I really wanted to hit up the Emery Lord signing, so I hopped over from the Shannon Messenger signing all the way to the Emery Lord signing about 3 feet away and managed to be about the 5th person in line. Got my book signed, got to talk with Emery Lord about Halloween. She was so sweet. We chatted about costumes. If y'all didn't know, I dressed up as Jane from Tarzan this year. I will insert a picture here. And she was telling me about her awesome Halloween costumes as well, so we just chatted about that for a few minutes. Got my book signed. I may have gotten a picture with her, although I'm not 100% sure, because I was running my legs off. But if I have a picture with her, I will insert it here. And then I hopped on over to my interview with Miss CJ. That was really fun. If y'all haven't seen it yet, I'll put it in the card. A really good time interviewing her. I think it turned out pretty well. The lighting is pretty crappy, but what could you do? And then from there, I ran to the library, only to find out that I was going the wrong way for the panel that I wanted to go to. So I ran back. I stopped to take some photos. Maggie Scarry had her little fancy little car out for people to spray paint. So I will insert some pictures here. But then was the panel that we were all waiting for. That was Miss CJ's panel with Rashmi Chakshi. And if I butchered that name, I'm really sorry. But I probably didn't butcher it as bad as the moderator did, who called her Rashmi Chashi. And everyone in the room just looked embarrassed for a few minutes. And we moved on from that. But it was a really good panel. I enjoyed it. I have some footage, actually, of this panel. At one point, I asked a question about what books they would recommend based on something they had said earlier. And Rashmi had ended up going down a rabbit hole about this boy that she stalked in high school. And I will insert the clip here.
It is epic. Oh my gosh, and that language is so sumptuous. Her prose is almost tactile. You want to chew on it. It's so good. And I was such a creep when I actually met Lainey Taylor. If you haven't seen her or her picture, she's got bright pink hair, just like her own fairy tale fantasy characters. And I followed her down a hall because I kept practicing things to say.
Right, of course, yes.
Of like, I love you, but that didn't sound. I can't do that.
Right. Yeah. So I got the next choice.
Right, but then I screamed it instead.
Okay.
Possibly
you should have gone with your third choice.
I should have. But I've got a horrible habit of doing this. So the first time, here's a tiny story. In 9th grade, there was a really cute boy who moved into our neighborhood. And my best friend and I kept breaking into the house as it was being built. It wasn't a big deal. There were no locks, and so it was fine. And anyway, I saw him across the train tracks on the very first day of freshman year. And he was so cute. And the wind was blowing, and I wanted to say something like really cool. And instead, I screamed at him, "I know where you live." I saw the words, and then they were.
How did that relationship work out for you?
Our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, he liked that.
He didn't talk to me for a year.
Okay, so he has good instincts then, but then we got to know you and realized it was just all
right.
Nice. Okay.
I was so persistent. We did carpool, so I was like, "You will love me."
Nice.
Repeatedly. It's fine. So
Nice.
Yeah, first impressions are just not my thing.
Yeah.
They've never been my thing. I'm sad about that still. So, boo-boo. Anyway, that was recorded, wasn't that?
That was.
I
told you I was recording.
I forgot.
Going up on YouTube.
All right.
As long as we don't flip over backwards, everything's great. I'm very worried about this chair. Those of you who've seen his hands before, this is a dangerous
Very precarious.
I once fell off a stool because I wore slippery pants. Like, what pants are slippery? Who sells jeans that are slippery? I went to sit down at the book event, and then the next thing I knew, I was just like, "Give me a 10."
looked at me because I was sitting in like the middle of the front row and said, "You filmed that whole thing, didn't you?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." So, love you, Rashmi. And then I went to the signing and got The Star-Touched Queen by Rashmi Chokshi. And it is, in fact, signed in like huge, pretty lettering. And then the last author that I got a book signed from was Carrie Maniscalco, or Maniscalco. I think it's Maniscalco, but I'm not sure. It signed for me. Thank you so much. So that was really fun. That was my day at the Southern Festival of Books. I had a pretty interesting time. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Some quick housekeeping. Number one, if y'all noticed the awesome new set behind me, my awesome stepdad Russell made me yet more bookshelves. I have these two, and then there's going to be one back in this corner. So we're going to have a really awesome new filming setup, and I hope y'all like it. And I hope y'all like it because it's staying. Also, this is probably going to be my last video before I head to Y'all Fest. If any of y'all see me there, please don't hesitate to come up and give me a hug, say hi. I would love to see anyone who is going to be there, and I know I don't have a ton of subscribers, and there's a pretty good chance that none of y'all will be there, but if some of y'all are, I would really like to see y'all. So I think that's about all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this really disconjointed, awkward video of awkwardness. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye, humans.